Okay, today's video, we are going to talk about pop-up ad, or whether do pop-up ad networks work? Yes, there's still pop-ups in today's 2024 and beyond world. And here's how to make money with them specifically, the important part that I'll cover in today's video here. I'm going to cover regarding how to make money with pop-ups, as well as tab unders, which those are just simply individual ads that create a new tab on your individual web browser for the user. And then also pop unders, which if you don't know what that is, you're not old enough to remember, that's where you actually have a window that will pop up underneath your web browser window, your active window itself, which I know when I was first looking into this myself to run ads on these networks, so I'm always looking for a new traffic source. And I go ahead and buy ads from places people don't even know about, because a lot of times there's great opportunities there for the reasons that they're more lenient and the traffic's often cheaper. But there's still pop under ads that you can run and pop unders to go along with it that you can run ads on, even though I've not seen a pop under for 10 years plus. And the main reason for this that I've researched and found, and I quite don't understand the main root of it, that is the certain browsers there's pop unders that are still allowed with it, and in addition to that, you can disable the pop-up blockers on a web browser that's usually built in by default on the main ones like Google Chrome and so forth. Even if 1% to 2% of web browsers out there don't have active pop-up blocking, that's enough to run a whole ad network on, because there's 400 million people in the US alone. You got 1% of them using a web browser that doesn't have pop-up blocker built in by default. Now you have 4 million people that you can run ads in front of. This is why these ads are still alive. And to buy pop-up, it's not like it used to be. You had to go through individual brokers that would get you on through certain websites. There's ad networks now that will get you millions of these pop-ups. Question is, can you pay for the ads and make the ads that are on these pop-ups pay for itself? And that's what I'm going to cover in today's video here in specific. And by the way, before I get into the content and give you a case study of how this has really worked to generate sales in the skincare space, where we were marketing a product through there, running pop-up ads and pop unders. You should always, like I was saying before, be looking for new traffic sources that make money. Yes, you want to go ahead and try to make the best you can from the traffic that you have in terms of increasing your conversion rate, so you could just run more traffic through the channels that you have now. But I've been around long enough where I've seen Facebook just deciding you wake up one day, you're done. There's no way to get your account back. If you're running one traffic source, you're a sitting duck. Even if you have two traffic sources, if one traffic source is half of your money, can you take half of your money disappearing with all of your overhead that you have at your business? The answer is no. Then you need to be looking at more traffic sources. The more traffic sources you have, the more redundancy, therefore, in your revenue stream you have. And the less likely any one thing can take you out. If you are in a business like mine, where you have reoccurring revenue, and the way that you get a client, that is our advertising agency, disappears, I can survive it because I have reoccurring revenue. Most e-commerce businesses and whatnot and service businesses out there don't have that. You got to have revenue coming in, and you got to be thinking about this stuff in advance, because this is basically the number one way that I see clients that I've worked with go under. They had one traffic source. It was working great for them. They get to be lazy and complacent. Then something happens to that traffic source and they can't take the hit with all the overhead they have. Mainly because, like for instance, they'll have good Google organic rankings, and they update their website. And because basically nothing bad has happened to them in the past, they do it with a really shitty website design agency to try to spend money, because they don't think they should have to spend a lot for a website. And that provider screws up the transition. Their rankings go to 20% of what they had before, and they're gone. They can't wait 6 months to build it back up. They're fucked. Like I said, an ad network will shut you down. Why? Because you ran that one ad that Facebook didn't like. Or with the AI systems and the anti-fraud systems that they have now, you could go ahead and you have somebody who has spyware or malware on their computer log into your account that's managing your ads, and they get your account shut down just by proxy. That's a real thing as well. Then so you've got to know Don't be the arrogant one who thinks nothing is going to go wrong with your revenue stream that you have and the ads that you're running unless you got 5 other different ways to get customers that are profitable for you right now. You're in a bad position. And for that matter, even then, you shouldn't be settling for the 5, because a lot of times you could just take the same offer that works on Facebook, move it over to another ad network, like with the Popup Network that I'm mentioning here on today's video, and get it to work, leverage this new channel over here for yourself. Granted, many times you will not make more money on a new channel. But even if you test 10 different ad networks, because there's so many ad networks out there. Just for native advertising, there's dozens. You don't hear people talking about this, but if 10% of them work, you could double the amount of profit you're making in your business just because you got on a bunch of different ad networks that aren't as competitive, that had good traffic on them. So just don't leave the revenue on the table. Pop-up ad networks do work. That's what I'm here to primarily tell you. And it will create redundancy in your business, and it'll actually be fairly stable, because these smaller ad networks like the Popup Networks and Rich Ad Network, which is the Popup Network I would recommend and that I use, that I am going to recommend to you on this video, they actually need your business. Google can shut you down overnight, and then you're literally a maggot under their foot to them. They don't give a rat's ass, even if you're spending $100,000 a month with them. They don't care about you. Naturally, they say they care, and they may care a little bit, but there's somebody that they know will fill the gap. If you're running a $100,000 a month ad budget with a smaller ad network, Popup Network, they are going to kiss your feet. And the last thing they're going to do is shut you down over something dumb. Tell you how to fix the situation if there is one without shutting down your ads, and work with you when there is a problem, versus with Google, where you try to get a hold of them, they give you some vague, obscure answer where you can't really fix it, or it takes months to fix it, and now you're out of business because you couldn't take a halving of your business for 4 months while you figure out what Google doesn't want you to do anymore. With Google and Facebook being so strict nowadays, pop-up ads are a great way to run your ads, more than anything, to make money and generate sales for your business. In the skincare space, Google, Facebook, Microsoft/Bing hate before and after photos on your ads. Why do they hate it? They say it's clickbait, but really that's what gets people to respond in the skincare space. What do people care about? What is my skin going to look like before and then after? Yet, these dumb companies think that what people want to see, you can't see because it works. Basically, it just works too good. If you're going to get on their networks, you're going to have to play by their rules. These smaller networks, like I said, they're more flexible. Pop-up ad networks being a primary driver there. For your business, in terms of ad impressions or ads where you can run ads online, they actually make up several percentage points of all the ads that you can run if you added up all the ad networks or what's available out there. With that said, you should consider running these pop-up ads that you couldn't run necessarily through Google or whatnot in a lot of markets. You can get on pop-up ads, and because they allow more, you can actually make more or just get things to work in general that wouldn't work necessarily before, because there's certain things people will respond to at a high rate, and there's certain things that don't. And if you're selling even like a business opportunity, that is a money-making business opportunity, let's say trying to sell a jewelry making business, you can't say on Google that this makes the average user $5,000 a month, even though it's true. Google will be like, clickbait, or whatever. Not always, but which, by the way, is part of the reason why you are diversifying, because the rules only apply to some people and not others, and it's a lot of times just flagged algorithmically. You get caught up in the dragnet and you're screwed. Certain things that just simply, in that type of space, people want to know what they can make. You can't do on the networks. Pop-up ad networks, you can actually do that. And that's why it's a great opportunity. Pop-up networks don't care what you say, because they can't, like if you were advertising in a magazine or a newspaper, they need the revenue, they're going to work with you. There's certain things you can't do still. On a scale of 1 to 10, if 10 was the most strict and 1 was the least strict, Google and Facebook are going to be like a 9. And these pop-up ad networks, Rich Ad Networks is one I can speak of specifically, it's going to be like a 2 or a 3. Okay, just to put it in perspective. But we ran pop-up ads for a skincare product. I'm going to always still start out running my ads on Google, Facebook, and Microsoft, which gets you on Bing. Why? Because they have the biggest opportunity. If something works, I can scale it quickly, or so is the thinking, if you will, in a lot of cases. So, and I know the most about it. It's most straightforward. There's a lot more targeting options, which is the main benefit of using it, which is also, like with the Popup Networks, the disadvantage is you can't narrow your targeting as much. But if you sell something that can be bought by 0.1% of the population or more would want it, then you're in good shape, because as long as your ad just gets seen, you're good already. It's enough people will care about it that you don't have to target very well. Granted, even though you can target geographically and you can narrow down on some basic demographic levels using these pop-up ad networks itself. With that said, skincare product, when we're talking skincare, we're talking about like an anti-aging product, even though that wasn't exactly what it was, and I can't say what it is because this is still a client that we're working with. But we were spending $300 a day on Facebook to generate an ROI that was still profitable to the company. Getting it past $300 a day was difficult to maintain the ROI. Naturally, if you run ads long enough on Facebook, you can eventually you could scale, but we hit a major roadblock at $300 a day on Facebook for this product. Whereas we tried out other places to run ads, because naturally in that situation, what you should automatically say is, okay, where's another place we can run our ads? Okay, that doesn't work. Let's try over here. Let's try over here. Let's try over here. Let's try over here. And there's dozens upon dozens of places you can run ads. Test. We tried running pop-ups and pop-unders on the Rich Ads network. You can Google them if you want to actually do this after this video. And we got it up to $1,400 a day within the first 90 days already, just running ads on that network. And the main reason that we're able to do that, because there's a lot of volume, even though there's not that many web browsers that allow pop-ups, but there's enough. And more importantly, we can do more with it. On Facebook, they won't let you have a before and after photo. They won't, which is the thing that gets to work really well there. Whereas on the pop-ups, that's exactly what we were doing. And it worked great. So it didn't take us very long to figure out the formula that worked. Therefore, more of the ad placements would be profitable. Therefore, we were able to scale it hella more, even though the total potential impressions on that network is lower than what Facebook offers. Total impressions offered on Facebook isn't relevant if you can only get so many of the impressions available through Facebook to be profitable enough to generate an ROI at the end of the day. So that's a specific instance where we use the pop-ups. I don't have a ton of experience with pop-up ads. We're starting to do more of them now. That's one specific instance where I could bring up where it did actually work and does work and continues to work for us. More so than even Facebook, because of what we can do on and with the ads there, or on the ad copy, if you will. So, and then with this, okay, there's no weird reviews or violations to deal with. When we went from $100 a day to $1,400 a day, there wasn't no, hey, let's review, like you got, we're going to look at, you're going to have to submit 15,000 documents, and you're going to have to tone down your ad because it's too aggressive, whatever, like you're going to get on Facebook, because that's actually how the Facebook's review system works. If you're not familiar with it, what happens is the level of review and scrutiny you get on low levels of ad budget is much less than when you get higher levels of ad budget. At the beginning, the reviews are primarily done on an AI or automated basis. They're scanning your ad, they're looking at the text for certain keywords. Why? Because you pose a lot less risk to the so-called community, Facebook community, when you're only spending $5 a day and only a tiny amount of people are going to effectively see this ad. Whereas when you get to 100 a day, you go through an extra layer of review. Then when you get to 500 a day, you get another extra layer of review. Then 1,000, then 3,000, and at each one of those levels, approximately, I don't have the exact, formula and science, it's not down to a science, but that's pretty well it. At each one of those levels, you're going to go through more scrutiny. You won't even get a human to review your whole funnel until you're up around $300 a day or $500 a day. Then you start to pose a significant enough risk where a human will go through your entire landing page, your entire ad. Then, if you're doing something semi-sketchy, you get caught up, and you thought you were going to get rich. It was like, great, I put it at $10 a day, it worked. I put it at $50 a day, it worked. I put it at 100 a day, it worked. I put it to 300 a day, oh! And then you find out you can't run that exact funnel anymore. Whereas you thought you were in the clear when it was approved initially, you really just didn't get to the point where you scaled it up enough yet to even get the full review of your stuff. And then not only that, like at 500 a day, you get reviewed by offshore contractors in like India. And when you get to where you're over 1,000 a day, now you're getting human reviewers in the US who really know like what they're reading on the page and so forth. And it gets even more intense. As compared to the pop-up networks, they want your business. They are not looking for an excuse to push you off the ad networks. In fact, most of the people that they work with is affiliate marketers, which are doing super sketchy shit. Affiliate marketing is mainly about running super sketchy shit. Otherwise, they can't get an ROI high enough to make the ads work, given the affiliates don't get the full margins a normal company would get on the customer in terms of having that customer over the lifespan and getting all the revenue to pay for the ads. Affiliate has to figure out how to make enough money for what little commission they're going to get to actually pay for the ads and still have money left over. And so they have to do super sketchy shit on their ads and their landing pages to do that, like, you know, a fake celebrity endorsement or whatever. Ultimately also get clicks cheap enough to get the ROI, you know, to get the cost per sale low enough to also get that, you know, formula to work, which they get on pop-up ad networks because they can say more on the ad, and the clicks are actually decently cheap as well, which we're talking super click. That's part of what you get through it, but it's not so much about that per se. It's mainly about freedom. Doing what you want to do and saying what you want to say that will get you, the person that clicks through is going to be super qualified. They're going to convert at a high rate, but also you're going to be paying cheaper cost per click, 20 cents a click, 10 cents a click. So it's a little bit cheaper, but the main thing is the quality of the people that you get is going to be better because there's more can be, and with that, you can actually say more on a pop-up than you can on a smaller banner ad or even a text ad, obviously. So you have that also going for you. Naturally, if you could show up before and after, like I was mentioning up there, mentioning a minute ago, that sells everything. They don't even have to go to the landing page. They already know they want it. Effectively, you're getting a click that has $3 of value for 20 cents. Or if you're selling business opportunities and saying that you can make $5,000 a month with this hot dog stand, you've already communicated what makes them want it already before they even get to the landing page. Then you just got to explain why it does that. So that's why this is such a great opportunity. At the very least, you should try it because you're losing almost nothing to try it out. Yes, a little bit of your time might be wasted, but for every 10 things you try in advertising, one works, that's already enough because you can make so much money off that one thing that works that you can finance the next 10 things. And this may not work for you, but if you're in any kind of market where you can't say and do what you want to do through Facebook, you should definitely try this. But even if you're not, you should try it out anyway because you may be surprised that it works. There's certain circumstances where it's going to crush it more than any other ads that you have, and you won't know until you actually run it. And that actually is weird because for different clients that we do, things that we do, for some reason, you know, running ads on Bing will work so much better than on Google, and I don't know why. Normally, Bing will work better on search ads, but I'm talking about display ads here. Certain instances, Facebook will do way, way, way better than running Google Display Network ads. We're talking about like 50 times better. I don't understand why. Whereas normally it would only do click for click, let's say 5 to 10 times better or whatever, trying to target similar audiences. So you won't know these things until you just went out and tried the different traffic sources that are available to you out there. And if you try 10, one will work really well and you stick with it, you've got another revenue stream that you have for now on that you can use and rely on. And be more redundant, going full circle on this video, explaining how valuable it is to just have 10 different traffic streams that are profitable at any given time. Losing one doesn't affect you at all. As it comes to running ads, as a final point that I want to make in this video, you're either growing or you're dying. If your profitability isn't growing, it's going to be going down. There's no, this works and we're going to maintain it because there's going to be a day that things change. That traffic source isn't going to be as profitable as what it was. More competition there, the cost per click goes up. Something's going to change about it, and you can't just rely on that. And so it's just a matter of time. If you are holding the ship down and it is consistently profitable at a certain level, it's just a matter of time before that goes down. Most business owners that I see is they will actually say, okay, I'm making enough money now. I don't need to invest in advertising as much now because I want to take all the money and piss it away on Corvettes and, hot blondes and whatever. And then they wait for their stream of traffic that was profitable to go down before they do something. And now you're in a weak position. Now you don't have money to go test things. Whereas if you just would have took your money here and started testing things, it wouldn't have even affected you that much. But you got complacent and arrogant. Now you have to start testing things when you're down here. Now you're basically screwed. You can't come back from it. You always are reinvesting 10% of your money or roughly thereof in new traffic sources to try to get those to work. A lot of times you need to run ads for 6 months in a certain place to find out the perfect demographics, targeting options, placements, whatever that work, because that's just what it takes. Then that's going to now produce a certain amount of profit for you from then on. Then you take the 10% of your budget and you invest it into another thing. If you want to walk up the profits on your brand, that's how it's done. That's how I do it. And that puts you in position so that certain things that work today that don't work in the future, you're going to constantly be making up for it and then some. So you're always staying ahead of the trend, if you will, versus behind it, and putting yourself in that weak position to be taken out at a certain point. With that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully that made a lot of sense. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. With that said, if you are looking for a place to find out how to make millions of dollars a year advertising your brand or your business online, this is the channel you want to subscribe to, as I do nothing but do ad strategy for clients at my firm, just the strategy part, testing what works and what doesn't work. And what I find, I deliver to you on this channel on a silver platter. That is 40 hours a week, testing stuff on dozens of ad accounts to find out what works and what doesn't work. 99.9% of what you find on YouTube and elsewhere online about running ads for your business is coming from people who don't run and do ad strategy all day or all week long like I do. They're saying they're selling courses, saying they are. They're not really running those ads themselves. They're saying they're doing it. They're regurgitating information from other people, which then regurgitated it from somebody else, and on and on and on. And it's just basically bullshit at the end of the day. And you can't really rely on it because they're just trying to sell you a course. That's all they're doing. We run an ad firm where we don't get paid unless we can get results for our clients, period. And therefore, we got to know what works. So if you're looking for real information, this is the channel to subscribe to, and you should subscribe to it right now versus later. I also, by the way, have a blog that you can review over on my site at guaranteeppc.com/blog. If you like my channel, you'll love my blog even more because I have step-by-step procedures on how to run certain campaigns that are proven to make money every time, with screenshots, with everything that you need to do it. So you should check that out as well. As mentioned, I run an advertising firm here where we do not charge our clients fees until we can get them results. Whatever you're making now, we'll increase it by a certain minimum amount before we even take a fee, and without raising your ad spend. So you're basically making more profit, and you're making more profit in excess to the fee that we charge. We're the only agency out there that does anything like that. The catch is we got to know we can get great results with your stuff up front before we even touch or consider working on your stuff. But if you want to see if we can work together, you should reach out to my firm, and so you can talk to me at guaranteeppc.com. I'll look at what you have, let you know what results we can get with it. We'll do an 8-quarter projection for you like we normally do with our clients starting out, and see if we can work together. So we don't work with just any client, but if you have something good, we certainly could work together on that kind of basis. If you're not looking to work with an ad agency, many people aren't. I understand that. However, if we've worked in your niche market before, which I've worked in over 100 different niche markets before in the last 10 years of running this firm, you can use the exact ads, landing pages, campaign templates, all of it that work for your niche market in a different city, state, country, and just copy and paste everything we figured out about your market into your account and get the same results we've spent years building up to figure out how to get great results in your market, saving you all that time and all that money to figure it out. Many times we've spent years and millions of dollars to figure out what works in a certain niche market that you could then get for a small fee and then just get the same results we got by getting the templates from us that we sell. So if we've done that in your market, it would make no sense whatsoever to not take us up on our offer of that, because you're going to have to spend more time and money on it than what we charge, for those templates to begin with. And these templates work so good, by the way. We got people that just are using these templates to start up new businesses. If you want a business on training wheels, take one of the templates that we have to sell a product that you can easily get from China in a different country that our client's in, and you'll have turnkey money coming in to sell that product in a proven way we already know works in a different country. Whether that's printer toner or skincare products or whatever, we can show you how to do that with the template, and then using the template make money right away. Furthermore, by the way, you can use templates that we have to generate leads at a rock bottom cost, which you can start a lead generation business selling those leads to people in that space, which we've got several people doing that, which is a great passive income business strategy. Anyway, if you're interested in any opportunity like that, we also have that. You can reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com if you're interested in that as well. But I'll wrap everything up with that. Hopefully that made a lot of sense, what I explained to you on today's video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.